I kept this.
We were so sure back then.
We were brave back then.
No, I was brave. I loved you at your worst, and you left anyway.
I thought I was protecting you.
From what?
From building a life with someone who might fail.
That's what love is, Daniel. It's choosing someone even when they might fail.
I'm choosing you now.
Now is years too late. I don't hate you.
Then don't walk away.
The city felt different after that night. Not louder, not quieter, just heavier. Daniel hadn't slept. He replayed Elena's words over and over in his mind like a broken record. I waited. 2 words that weighed more than the years between them. He stood at his apartment window as dawn bled into the skyline, the same pale pink light that used to spill across Elena's face when she'd fall asleep beside him. Some loves fade quietly. Others burn long after the fire should have died. And theirs? It had never really gone out. Elena sat at her kitchen table staring at her phone. Daniel's contact name hadn't changed. She had deleted it once. Twice, 3 times. But she always saved it again. Because letting go of a person is easy. Letting go of hope is not. The ring box sat unopened beside her. The proposal that never happened. The future that never began. She picked it up, then set it down. Some endings don't explode. They erode. That afternoon, Daniel did something he had avoided for years. He drove to the old train station, the place where it ended, the place where she had waited. The platform looked smaller now, or maybe he just felt bigger, older, full of regret. He could still see her there in his memory, coat wrapped tight, eyes scanning every arriving train. He had told himself she would understand. He had told himself there would be another chance. But life doesn't pause for unfinished sentences, and love does not survive indefinite waiting. Elena didn't know why she went there. Maybe instinct, maybe memory, or maybe because when something breaks in the same place it was built, you return to see what remains. When she stepped onto the platform, she froze. Daniel was there. Not imagination, not dream, real. They didn't speak at first. Because sometimes silence says everything words cannot. The wind moved between them like a third presence. All the years they had not lived together, Daniel took one step forward, then stopped. He understood something now. Love is not proven by how deeply you feel. It's proven by how bravely you stay. And he had not stayed. Elena's eyes were softer now. Not angry, just tired. Tired of loving someone who almost chose her. Tired of being someone's almost. He wanted to tell her everything. How every relationship after her felt like an echo. How every success felt incomplete. How he had compared every laugh, every smile, every touch to hers. But regret, spoken too late, becomes selfish. So instead, he told the truth. He had been afraid. Afraid he wasn't enough. Afraid of building something he might fail. Afraid of choosing one future and losing all others. So he lost the only one that mattered. Elena listened, and something in her broke quietly, not because he didn't love her, but because he had, and still let her go. That was the cruelest part. If he had stopped loving her, she could have hated him. If he had betrayed her, she could have healed. But he loved her, and he still left. And that is harder to forgive. The announcement of an incoming train echoed through the station. Life, once again, refusing to wait. Daniel reached into his coat pocket. Not a ring, not a grand gesture, just an old photograph. The two of them at 23, laughing, careless, unaware of how fragile happiness could be. He handed it to her. "I never stopped keeping this," he said quietly. And in that moment, Elena realized something devastating. She still loved him. Not the memory, not the fantasy, him standing in front of her.
Forgiveness doesn't mean we
Flawed,
start over.
human, late.
Then what does it
The
mean?
train roared
It
closer,
means I stopped
and she had a
caring what you
choice.
broke.
Rekindle, or let go. But sometimes the hardest truth is this: love is not always meant to be kept. Sometimes it exists to change you, to grow you, to break you open, and then to release you. Elena stepped closer, close enough to feel his warmth again, close enough to remember what it felt like to belong to someone. Tears gathered, not dramatic, not loud, just real. She touched his face gently and whispered the words neither of them were ready for. I forgive you. Not, let's try again. Not stay. Just forgiveness. Because forgiveness is not reconciliation. It is freedom. Daniel's chest tightened. He understood. This was not a beginning. It was a goodbye done right. The kind they should have had years ago. The train doors opened. People stepped on. People stepped off. Life continuing, indifferent to heartbreak. Elena walked toward the train. She turned once. He memorized her face. Not because he would chase her, but because this time, he would let her choose. She stepped inside. The doors closed. The train pulled away, and Daniel stood there alone. Not abandoned. Not angry. Just finally aware. Love is not about holding on at any cost. It is about showing up when it matters. And he had learned that lesson too late. Weeks later, Daniel sat in a cafe with a notebook open. For the first time, he wasn't writing about what he lost. He was writing about what he learned. Across the city, Elena walked through a park at sunset. The air lighter now, not because she stopped loving him, but because she stopped waiting. Their love didn't rekindle. It didn't explode. It didn't triumph. It transformed into closure, into growth, into a memory that would ache sometimes, but no longer control them. Some stories are not meant to end together. Some loves are not meant to last forever. But they matter, because they teach us how to love better the next time. And sometimes, letting go is the bravest form of love there is.